So, hi guys. I wanted to, I made the base video and I forgot to show my build, right? So I just make a whole video just about my Lynn's build, right? So, first, first off, we go to the wedges, okay? I have Blaze Inspo. You can use Blaze Inspo or Eternity, but if you use more Inspos, you're gonna need more copies, right? So I'm gonna run with 2 Eternity and 2 Inspos. And this one is very important, the Devouring Wildfire, and this one as well. And I use Prime, because if I go and co-op, I have Zenity problems, right? If I don't have my supports with. So otherwise you could just, you know, use anything else. But yeah, that's what I use on my character. This is on the weapon. That's for the charge. You get this one from the... This is just to make the speed, right? With, I show you. To have this. And this one you get from the Immersive Theta shop. It's in here. It doesn't show anymore after you buy it, but it's in here, okay? So that makes the dash like this. And then you have the Swift Momentum that makes charge attack speed higher, so you're faster on the dash, right? On the pistols, I just have something on, right? But I using 2 pistols, depend what I do, right? So that I use on my Q, that's the ultimate, right? So I would recommend, highly recommend, use double attack, because the crit chance is 12%. It barely scales, I can't show you. If I got crit right, I get to 18%. You barely crit, right? But you lose 823 attack. I mean, okay, this is purple, right? So you would get a little bit more. Let's say if you get 22 or something. It's still too low for the damage sacrifice you do. So you rather go double attack. Trigger is very important, which I will explain. And this one you can change for multi-attack for the folder. I don't have it leveled right now. I would level it, but I don't have the currency. I have 1000. I can only make level 3, right? But it's essentially attack speed is more consistent damage, and multi-strike could be more damage if it procs often, okay? Because multi-strike is just an randomness, if 1.2% or something randomness that it comes on it. If I use this now, it's normally at 1.25 if you max it. So essentially it's the both it's 1.31 here. It's 1.31 here too if you have a +6, I think. Not 100% sure, but I think it was like that. And the difference is attack speed will give you more consistent damage, more consistent. This one can give you more damage if it procs more often, because like a proc chance, attack speed is just flat stats all the time on, right? So this could be more damage, but could also be less damage, like depend on your procs. So attack speed is just more consistent, so I'm using attack speed, okay? And trigger, why I use trigger is very important. I saw many people in my comments asking why I use trigger, which I will explain now as well. And I will show you guys some testing as well. So you have the Awaken 6. If you have it, or should I call it Intron 6? It's like a lot of games they call it differently, right? So you have the during Gunpowder, which is a Q. When triggering bonus effect, Hansel and Gretel is her pistol, right? So you can see it here. That's Hansel and Gretel. That's the name of the off Q. Just to clarification everything.
Who's the target today?
And inflicts laceration, which is the E technically. The E is a different name, but the E triggers this, and the E scales of this, okay? On the target for 8 seconds. And this is important, okay? It's for 8 seconds. So Awakened 4 is also nice, and Awakened 2 is also nice for the attack speed. So you get from this, I think it's 103 attack speed or something like this. So let's go to the E, right? E is important to skill it up. Like E gives you a lot of damage if you skill it up. So deals pyro damage to enemies in front and inflicts laceration, right? So laceration scales of the E damage. You see it here. If you max it, you have 529%, which is a lot. And then you have this 8 seconds, right? It detonates after 8 seconds, after you put it on. And we don't even use the E skill, and it will always trigger because you have the Awakened 6, right? So, but here... shooting deals damage to all enemies in front of them. And... that's the attack speed one. Where was the cooldown reduction one? That's a preload. So each stacks of the passive. Each stacks of this gives you 17% damage, okay? So if you proc it 10 seconds afterwards, if you... But we do the testing after I explain the skills. Sorry that I was sidetracking. It was here somewhere that you decrease the cooldown of Lacerate. Every time the enemy takes ranged weapon damage from Lynn, the Lacerate wound count is increased by 1 second. So you make the cooldown down. It doesn't detonate in 8 seconds then, it detonates after 8 hits or 8 seconds, right? Or it counts both together. That's how I understand it, right? So with that being said, I hope I explained the skills clearly. Then we have now the weapons. I use the skill damage one. This gives you, I think, the most damage from all weapons. Skill damage just, because she scales of skill damage, right? I have 240%. So you have this weapon. It's just self-explaining. It's just skill damage boost, right? And you have the dash outside, which is nice. And then we have here you can use the skill damage. They are both in front too. Okay, my both weapons. I want to make them 5 both. Because I use both in different scenarios, which I explain as well. Sorry. So this weapon just gives you consistent damage. It's basically with the wedges, like attack speed. This is basically the attack speed one, and this is the multi-shot one. No, actually no, this is bad explaining. But like this is also consistent. Don't get me wrong, right? But this always gives you damage. Like, it doesn't matter how you play, it always is in play, right? But this blue weapon here, which I will show you guys now, if they bounce once when dealing damage with this weapon, increase dual pistols damage by 63% for 21 seconds, okay? This refresh, every time you deal damage with the right click, this buff refresh for 21 seconds. You don't need to wait to run it out. Okay, so essentially you wanna right click and then go in Q mode, and then you have the 63% damage increase, okay? This blue weapon makes more damage than this. Just to make that clear for everyone. This one though, you don't need to go out of ultimate. But essentially you want the blue weapon prioritizing, because that one is more damage for sure. Which I explain now in action, right? So just we have the blue weapon equipped, I hope. Okay, we have the blue weapon. I will show you guys now. And each stack, which I forgot to mention, each stack of the passive gives you a 17.2% damage boost, okay? 17.2%. And it holds for 10 seconds after you trigger, doesn't matter how many stacks you have. So each stack 17%, right? See this? It's 6 stacks, 17. And wait, I forgot to summon the thingy. We make a level 120 for all our testing, yeah. So with the blue weapon, if you start attacking, you make right click and then you do this. Okay, we make around 60k damage. 59 to 60k, right? A little bit more than 60k. And now kill him. But you see the buff is here, I think, this one. It doesn't let you know the buffs while holding the mouse on it, but now we go out of here, go in again. So I refresh my buffs. You get refreshed if you go out and in, right? So we still have the blue weapon. You saw we did 60k damage, right? Now we spawn him again. 120. And this time I don't make right click. I just instantly make Q. So you will see it's more damage. You see we make only 40k, 5k. Instead of 60. So it's a lot of damage loss if you don't use right click before this, okay? So even essentially you wanna right click like this. Wanna right click like this. And then stay in the queue. You see we make 60k damage now. And you see the buff here. This one is the pistol buff, okay? This one. If it runs out, you go out of queue, you wait till your passive is stacked to 6. Like, you just wait, because if you're in queue, you can, this one will not refresh, right, if you consistently attacking. So then you go out of queue, attack one time, you need to make damage though with the right click, otherwise it doesn't work. Then you blast the boss, like this. Then your passive is running out now, right? You go out of queue, dodge a little bit, wait till you have your maximum damage. That's like the maximum damage you get on boss fights. Okay? If you do gold coins farming, it doesn't matter. But now I show you guys, the buff refreshes every single time you attack. So you don't need to wait till it's running out. You don't need to, so every time, you just need to watch your passive basically. The weapon doesn't matter. You just need to attack before you go on Q, always. Because you refresh it. Okay, you refresh it. You see the buff on the bottom now. I will only use right click, okay? Without Q. Look at this buff now, this one. It's running out, right? That's the pistol buff. I attack again, it's refreshing. So you don't need to wait till it's out or anything. You can always just try to work with your passive, because the buff will run much longer than your passive. So it's all, you don't even need to watch the buff. You can just adjust your gameplay to the passive, which is a lot of damage increases, 17 damage per stack. So you will always have enough time for that. So now we go to the other weapon. So, as I explained, right, I just want to clear the clarification with the blue pistol. So dealing damage with this pistol weapon, increase dual pistol damage by 63%, okay? This is why I do right click before using thingy. And this pistol is a dual pistol. Okay, it's a heal weapon type, dual pistol. If you go on the Constance weapon, it's also a dual pistol. That's why it's working. If that's the Q, Hansel and Gretel. That's the Q, right? So that works also. But if you use, this is not much damage loss. Like they're both of us smelting level 1, level 2, okay? Both is the same. So it's a good testing. So if you take this one, you don't need to explain much. You don't do right click before, because then you don't waste a little bit time of your passive, right? You can just instantly blast. And we did before around 60k damage, right? Now we have the other pistol. On this pistol you don't need to watch anything. You don't need to make right click or anything. And we make already very high damage. So this one is always it always boosts your damage by a lot. So we make 55k, but the other one we did 60, right? So we get from the blue pistol, we get around 5k damage increase. It's probably even more later on if you have more wedges. But I use both. I use the skill damage one for the mace, because the ads, right, in the mace, you guys know this one. In the mace here, I use the skill damage pistol, right, this one, instead of the blue one. Because like the ads, you wanna stay in air in most waves here. You wanna stay in air so you don't get hit by them, by the blow ups. So that's why I use this one. Everywhere else I basically use a pistol, blue pistol. And this is my wedges on them, on the blue pistol, right? I have multi-shot, attack, crit chance, crit chance. This is really nice. This gives you a 45% attack speed, which is basically up all the time. If you kill some trash mobs with right click, right? This is constantly 45% attack speed after you reload. So events essentially you wanna, if you start killing like low mobs or something, you don't wanna go on Q, so you don't limit it by movement. You just do this, and then you reload, and you have the attack speed the whole time, because you will shoot your bullets out faster than in 10 seconds. You see the buff here. See it here? If I reload now, refreshing. That's from the demon match, right? And I can empty my whole bullet, and it's not even in the half, so the reload speed is pretty nice. So I have the reload, I have attack, I have crit damage, trigger probability. We have a pretty good crit rate, so crit damage is actually not bad on the right click. And then we have spite attack again, and we have attack speed. Okay, that's the pistol what I gonna use. I wanna upgrade them all. I can upgrade them. Like, I have a bunch of those. It just costs so much. The upgrade material, those ones. But yeah, you can farm them for free after you 55, I think it was. But yeah, I could upgrade them, but I didn't want to farm this for now. So, with that being said, I hope I didn't forget anything. I hope that makes it clear. Did I explain the trigger? I think I explained it. But yeah, basically, I explained it again because I think I didn't tell you all information. So during gunplay, like during the Q, when triggering bonus effect using Hansel and Gretel, which is your Q, that's the weapon name in the Q, right? Inflicts laceration on the target for 8 seconds. That's why I have trigger on the Hansel and Gretel, on the Q weapon. That's why you have trigger on it, so you proc this more often. And this is like a lot of damage. That's basically laserate damage, right? 455% gives more damage. That's the damage from it. 1384. So it's a lot of damage, and that's why you wanna use trigger on your Hansel and Gretel. Just to clarification this, okay? I hope I didn't forget anything. If I forget anything, let me know in the comments. Hope you guys find this video helpful. Leave a like, subscribe, would help me out, guys. And see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace, 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 peace.